My friends invited me to go fishing, and I said yes because I've never tried it before and I wanted to try it. We went down a path to where the spot was, and the ground, I guess, it was wet from the day before, and I just collapsed.
At about 2:30 is when I got a phone call from his dad that he said Joseph had an accident and he was airlifted to Sunnybrook Hospital. Joseph fell over 100 feet down an embankment, and they actually, in the beginning, didn't think he was going to make it.
Joseph provides a very good example of how time-sensitive trauma care is. When Orange provided us with the information about Joseph, he was in profound shock and had just lost his blood pressure, which means his heart had stopped. Joseph, in effect, died just outside of our doors here at Sunnybrook. So we really had no seconds to spare. And we opened Joseph's chest as soon as he got here to try to restart his heart and to try to get blood flowing again. And that got us a blood pressure back and allowed Joseph to live a little bit longer to get to the operating room where we had a chance to definitively stop the bleeding. When you look at the current way in which patients are transported to Sunnybrook, they'll land at the helipad, then they will meet a land ambulance, and land ambulance actually has to drive them into our emergency department. That's problematic because it takes a lot of time and effort to move a patient who's severely injured. There's stretchers, there's oxygen tanks, there's IV tubing. Even though it's a very short drive, it takes 15 minutes to move a patient because of all the extra equipment that's required. So every time we don't have to load and unload a patient, it saves 15 minutes. For Joseph, that 15 minutes could very well represent the difference between life and death.
Sunnybrook saved my son's life. And in saving my son's life, they saved my life too.
Without Sunnybrook and the doctors and everybody, the nurses, I wouldn't be here today.
My name is Jon Dellandrea, and I have the honor of serving as President and CEO of Sunnybrook Foundation. You've just heard from Joseph and his mother, Carmen, how Sunnybrook's trauma experts were there for the family when Joseph's life was on the line. You've also heard from Sunnybrook's Chief of Surgery, Dr. Avery Nathans, describe how critical every minute is following a traumatic injury. Every single minute matters for patients like Joseph, and that's why we're committed to building a helipad at Sunnybrook. The generous support from the Cobble Beach Concours d'Elegance, its sponsors, its volunteers, and its participants will help to build this crucial infrastructure. We're deeply grateful to all of you, and I would especially like to recognize and thank your hosts, Rob and Rosemary McLeese, who in a span of just a few years have created one of North America's most prestigious concours, a truly magnificent event. Rob and Rosemary have been true friends and champions of Sunnybrook. We all hope that none of our loved ones will ever need treatment in Sunnybrook's trauma unit, but when it matters most, Sunnybrook will be there. Thank you for your generosity.
Everyone will benefit from this helipad. Doesn't matter if you don't live in Toronto or in any of the surrounding areas. Accidents can happen anywhere.
On behalf of Sunnybrook and all our future patients, I really want to thank you at the Cobble Beach Concours d'Elegance for all your interest, dedication, and commitment to our helipad here at Sunnybrook. Thank you.